Nissan doesn't even have a single hybrid here in the United States. They have a couple EVs, the Aria and the Leaf. Don't forget the Leaf. Long live the Leaf, right? Well, Nissan's saying, hey, we might skip this EV thing and just go to plug-in hybrids. Based off what they're seeing in China anyways, there's a strong interest in plug-in hybrids, so it would benefit their market there, but it would also benefit their market here in the United States. Their market keeps shrinking in Europe, so well, obviously, and China as well. But they need to focus on where they can succeed and be competitive. Right now, they're not very competitive with their EVs or their gas cars. So Nikkei Asia has come upon the plans for Nissan to develop their own plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, preparing to be able to reach market as soon as the late 2020s. And this would also include Mitsubishi to supply plug-in hybrids to Honda. Quick timeout, Zach Morris timeout if you guys are old enough to remember that. Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi are working together to develop software-defined vehicles as well as potentially develop hybrids, next-gen hybrids. So this is the first time we're hearing of it outside of like an official press release. Nikkei Asia is getting some scoops here. We haven't heard this develop yet. Specifically, we haven't heard Mitsubishi supplying plug-in hybrids to Honda. This is very interesting. The thing is, pretty much all of Mitsubishi's that I'm aware of in America, maybe not the Mirage, but the Mirage is killed off. They're all made in Japan, which is rare for a Japanese automaker. All of Honda's are essentially made here in North America. You have some made down in Mexico, like the HR-V and the Prologue, for example. But the rest of them are made in the United States and Canada. All right. Only the Type R is brought in from Japan. Would Mitsubishi supply plug-in hybrids to Honda vehicles in the United States? It's a possibility. Maybe they supply the technology and they just share their patents and whatnot. And so Honda can just start making Mitsubishi plug-in hybrids for their own vehicles in the United States. I don't know. But for sure, it would be for the Japanese market. But Japanese market, they don't care too much for plug-in vehicles, whether it's battery electric or plug-in hybrid. Nissan and everyone else is seeing EVs slow down, unless it's in China. Even then, we'll talk about how it's slowing down there a little bit too. Nissan sees highly profitable plug-in hybrids as an important bridge to the time EVs achieve wide adoption. And we don't know when EVs will achieve wide adoption. You do have deadlines by the governments and some deadlines from these automakers like Honda who's saying, hey, we want to be fully electric by 2040. No gasoline engines by 2040. That is crazy to me. I mean, Honda, in my mind, their identity is their engines, and you take that out and then you just have everything is the same, which is an electric motor, smooth, powerful, quiet, efficient, right? It's like, they're great, but there's also no character to them. How's Honda going, and how are any of these manufacturers going to be able to put their own character? The only way to do that is software and design. Sales are rising for plug-in hybrids. The thing is, they are actually slightly down, I think, in Europe so far this year, but they're growing huge in China. We know General Motors is developing plug-in hybrids for the US market. I think Toyota will see an explosion of availability of plug-in hybrids starting next year into 2026 when their battery plant in North Carolina goes live. Nikkei Asia starts talking about some basics here with plug-in hybrids. I think plug-in hybrids also make a ton of sense in terms of recharging compared to normal EVs. You have this big old battery pack in a normal EV that can take days to charge, 3 days, 4 days to charge on a standard 120 volt plug-in. A plug-in hybrid, you just plug into that same household plug-in and it'll charge full overnight, which is quite convenient. You don't have to put in a 240 volt, even though they will take 240 volt and charge in just a couple hours. It's very, very handy and convenient if you don't need to have a 240 volt to plug these things in to make them more efficient. All right. And you always fall back on your gasoline engine, an efficient hybrid train built into these plug-in hybrids when that electric range runs out. They say Nissan does not have a PHEV on their own. They did sell some vehicles in China with a joint venture. I don't know if they still are. So Nissan is developing its own PHEV technology by making improvements in its own hybrid technology, which is called e-Power. Again, we don't even have that here in the United States. They are installing a battery charger. Well, of course you have to do that. Their e-Power is just a series hybrid. There's nothing to plug it in. You just don't, there's no need to plug it in. It's a small hybrid battery. The automaker aims to establish the technology in the late 2020s, prepare for offering cars while monitoring demand. This is very interesting. It seems that Honda has no interest in making their own PHEVs. They will just offer them through OEM supply deals. What does that mean? That'd be like saying, hey, Mitsubishi, can we just buy your plug-in hybrid technology and all of your parts, and can we just put it into our Honda Odyssey or something like that? That seems crazy to me that Honda has such good hybrid technology, but they don't have, or they haven't been investing in plug-in hybrid technology. That's very short-sighted in my opinion. But again, Nikkei Asia is just reporting on what they're hearing. Will Honda offer their own plug-in hybrid? We know Honda is offering next-gen hybrids in 2026. We don't know if that includes plug-in hybrids. And if it doesn't include plug-in hybrids, that's a huge portion of the market you could be missing out on, and possibly a huge portion of the market that is far more relevant than BEVs could be in just a few years. We don't know exactly where the market's going to be. That's why Toyota, and it helps that they're such a big company, but they can afford to invest in this multi-prong approach: hybrids, next-gen internal combustion engines, plug-in hybrids, EVs, solid-state batteries, all this stuff. Is Honda really skipping plug-in hybrids and will just rent everyone else's technology? Time will tell. Now, if Honda can do this somehow, some way, I wouldn't understand how it works unless they just import Mitsubishi axles and battery packs from Japan and inverters, all that stuff, and just plop it into an Odyssey, plop it into a Pilot, plop it into whatever vehicle. Like a Mitsubishi super all-wheel drive control, even on their plug-in hybrids, is very impressive. This would be awesome. And honestly, that's Mitsubishi's strongest point right now. Their best vehicle is their plug-in hybrid. It's not a perfect plug-in hybrid by any means, but it is so much better than everything else in their lineup that it's really the only Mitsubishi I tend to recommend as the Outlander plug-in hybrid. It'd be great if Honda's just like, hey, I want some of that. Give me some of this, put it in my Odyssey, and now we have a plug-in hybrid Odyssey. It's exciting stuff. And shoot, if Honda, Mitsubishi, and Nissan can work together to make a next generation plug-in hybrid system, it'll really drive down the cost, right? They just streamline technology, mass produce it, which reduces costs. I think everyone would be winning here. That's the point of them working together, to reduce cost, to make better cars at lower prices for the consumer. They mentioned Tesla sales are down about 5% on the year. Sales of plug-in hybrids are blowing up, increasing rapidly in China. Apparently, PHEVs in China climbed 80% last year to 2.7 million vehicles and exceeded the rate for growth on EVs, which increased 23% to 5.4 million. So plug-in hybrids over there are essentially half of their full battery electric, but the growth of their plug-in hybrids is outpacing the growth of EVs. So we could see plug-in hybrids eventually catch up and possibly pass fully battery electrics in China. It could happen over here too. It could happen in the United States. It could happen in Europe. It really just comes down to infrastructure, cost, all these other factors, right? Nikkei Asia mentions BYD's new plug-in hybrid that can go 2,100 kilometers when it combines a fully charged battery with a full gas tank. Now, if I remember right, this plug-in hybrid or extended range EV has a really big gas tank on it, a tiny little gasoline engine that acts as kind of like the range extender on it. But sales of plug-in hybrids have been strong, totaling 1.31 million vehicles from January to August, a 48% increase over the same period last year. Watch this channel, because if I hear any news on next-gen plug-in hybrids, or if Honda just plopping the Outlander plug-in hybrid and the Pilot or the Odyssey or something like that, I will report it to you guys. I really hope this happens. I really hope Honda can benefit from this collaboration. I hope Nissan and Mitsubishi can benefit from having Honda's research and development behind them as well. So it's only good things for all those companies, I would say. We just need to see the fruit of their collaboration sooner rather than later. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.